Good evening, everyone. I'm back again. I took some break from reading messages because I have finished the book Messages to an Awakening Humanity, a Living Word, from Christ. So I have finished reading this book that has been translated from original Russian, but I will continue to translate and read separate messages. I will translate messages. Of course, eventually I would love to translate everything, but I will try to do everything I can to translate those messages that will truly evoke interest, although I believe that all of them evoke interest, but people are different. So my name is Olga, and I'm continuing to read messages that are received by Yelena Novosvit through the gift of clairaudience. She hears through the gift of clairaudience a very, very highly evolved entity that we all know under the name Christ. And once when he was incarnated, Jesus. I would want to warn you, please, whoever listens this for the first time, do not think that this is a message of a religious matter. No, just because you hear the name Christ does not mean religion automatically. Religion has patented his name. Now everyone who hears his name thinks of religion, and religion I equal corruption. These messages are pure spirituality. These messages are pure awakening to the soul. So today's message that I'm going to read about is going to be about interconnection of the soul, spirit, and the higher self. As for myself, before I thought that higher self was the spirit, but it's a little bit different. Of course, it's all connected parts, but it's a little bit different from the spirit. So this message that I have translated, I took it from the website novosvit.com. That's where Yelena posts all the latest messages which she receives every Friday, and you can find the previous ones out there as well. And on the website, people who follow the teachings of the Christ, they can ask questions. And if the question is of a very meaningful matter, the teacher will answer that. And one person has asked a question that I will read to you right now, and from there I will proceed to the answer of the teacher. The question is about interconnection of the soul, spirit, and higher self. Teacher, please tell us more about interconnection of the soul, the spirit, and the higher self. As far as I understand, the spirit is connected to the soul and to the higher self. The higher self is a celestial particle of the spirit. So higher self, or the celestial particle, stays in the layers where the spirit comes from? What about the soul? Here is the answer of the teacher. Christ, the teacher. The question is about infiltrating areas of knowledge that involve free access to energy as an information flow that includes those basic ratios that you have not reached. The question of the laws of the subtle world, the laws of the energy world. Yes, the subtle world has its laws as energy constants, keeping balance, and accordingly peace and order. Energy substances undergo the way of preparation, or the approaching to the energy components of the dense world. Naturally, part of the energy remains in the higher dimensions. There is a polarization of individual components allocated for development. The part that will be able to enter an independent life gets the opportunity of self-awareness and the field, like a shell, containing the protective layer of the substance itself and the possibility of development. Yes, the increase in power, volume, potential of energy substance, is the development itself. It is the soul The substance, which has passed the layer of purification or standby period, is plunged into the dense worlds of habitation. The particles that have been left or removed are the particles of the whole monad, namely, they are energetically and vibrationally closest to that particle. It is them as indicators respond to the request of the soul. They are the conductors in the connection of the soul-creator connection. The conductors of this connection are the particles of the whole monad. Now about the more powerful organization, about the spirit. Spirit is already a structured substance with a consciousness and awareness of self and other worlds. It is a manifested entity in the development state. The development of the spirit lies in continuous improvement. Improvement lies in the constant increase of accumulations. For a developing entity, this process is enclosed in the evolution of the consciousness. What is this? The evolution of consciousness involves constant upward movement with an increased strength, potential for movement. Living in dense worlds is an opportunity for the spirit to move upwards, forming the necessary quality accumulations for this. The spirit, an energy substance, for the first time discovering this world. The spirit forms that quality pillar that contains all its wells, and its desire to achieve unity with the substance, the soul, as an opportunity for joint manifestation or vibrational connection. It is now a single field for manifestation, but the spirit protects its accumulations. He waits for the self-manifestation of the soul, prompting and directing it. No, it's not a split of personality. It is an opportunity to manifest the cosmic spirit in a dense world. It is impossible otherwise, because this world is multifaceted in its manifestations, and the soul, like a sponge, absorbs surrounding thought forms, stereotypes of behavior, and adapts to life. Higher self. This is your term, talking about the existing ability through the subconscious to establish a connection with the field of the high organization, with the field of the creator. The separation of the whole monad, or separating it for life in the world of dense structures, occurs in polarizing accordance with the manifested possibilities, or else the particle of the soul has no more possibility of manifestation in this world, but remains as an opportunity to form connection with the field of the creator. This particle is the part of the creator, and talking to a higher self, in this case, is a conversation with God, with the creator. The initial charge of energy determines the polarization of the soul for manifestation in this world. In other words, the soul has a connection with God through its celestial particle, which creates a holistic perception of it. Or, through communicating with your higher self, you enter at once in the field of the Creator, in the field of divine energies. All the information coming from this field is high frequency, and this particle with the corresponding vibration serves as a conductor of the higher energies. Naturally, the higher the accumulations of the spirit, the stronger the conductivity and ability to perceive the energies of the higher dimensions. I'll say in a different way. Higher self is that part or particle of God, the Creator, that confirms your divine origin. This is your opportunity to return and feel like God. It's an opportunity to feel wholeness. The higher self remains in the field of the Creator. This is the ratio of a binary set of spirits in the one. The Creator is an entity that has power and strength through the inclusion of many higher selves that have connection or ability to connect as a communication with a particle manifested for development. The higher self, to put it figuratively, is a part of the field of the Creator, His body, and the soul becomes part of the spirit wealth. For the separation of this particle, this energy substance, is for the development of the worlds and the building up spirit's potential. And by acquiring this wealth, the spirit gains greater access to the field of the Creator. Its particles reunite and the bond becomes stronger. But it also happens the other way around. The soul squanders its potential, destroys power, and loses connection with the field of God, and accordingly with the Creator Himself. It is a fall. It is a road to nowhere. But there is such a choice. The higher particle searches for a vibrationally close to its energy annex and merges to energetically close constituents and begins its development, its maturation in order to separate again. This can be symbolically imagined as a cell division, only at the energy level. Those components of the parts that are present in a biological cell can be virtually identified on an energy level. Many cells make up a single being consisting of many living microparticles, and you have the opportunity to create similar life from a single cell. The Creator does the same. He allocates energy, a part of Himself, a force in an energy field that is conscious of itself for the manifestation of His child, the Spirit. The Father, or God the Creator, is a whole and manifests Himself as a father and mother. He only separates a particle that by developing is able to become a whole being. The higher self remains in the field of the Creator, like a uterus connected to the umbilical cord. Through this connection, the energy of life, the energy of the life giver is manifested. It is your choice whether to keep this connection and recharge from pure source. You decide. For by the will of the Creator, you dwell in this world. Christ the Teacher, September 21st, year 2004. So hopefully this message gives you some clarification on what is soul, spirit, and the higher self. I found this message in the beginning to be a little bit complicated to understand, but after I read it over and over several times, I feel like I understand it better. So what I understand so far, the higher selves are the energy particles that are part of God, of His body. And that's what made me understand the phrase, we are one. We are a single whole. This message, like nothing else, has explained to me what it means to be a single whole. Because we are all cells, a little particles of a one divine body, which we call God, the Creator. I will keep you, and of course I would like to apologize for maybe some grammatical mistakes, because I've translated this message myself from original Russian. So I apologize for some mistakes, and hopefully I was able to translate it for you to understand very clear. Anyways, I want to say that I'm eternally grateful every single day for these messages, every single day for the knowledge I'm given. It has transformed my life. I literally, for the last week, have been thinking and recalling myself back 1 year ago, 2 years ago, half a year ago, and I'm thinking like, wow, I have come a long way ever since I've been reading these messages. Yes, I started my awakening in 3 years ago, But these messages are something else. They rewired my consciousness. And I would like to tell you guys one really amazing thing as well, that you will be able to experience for yourself if you open your heart to these messages. My psychic abilities are soaring really, really high. My clairvoyance, my ability to see through people, to see through life, to see the world for what it is, it's been outrageously accelerating and getting bigger and bigger. And being sensitive person, I understand that it's coming from these messages. They are rewiring me. They are opening my third eye. And all I have to do is take it to my heart. All I have to do is feel it and remember it on a soul level, because I do. Everything that I read makes sense to me. Everything that I read seems like I already know this. It's been just reminded to me. So if you guys open your hearts, if you follow teachers' messages, your third eye will be open. The world will be a safe place for you. You will not be lost. You will feel guided. You will feel safe. And this safety will come from your spirit's gift of clairaudience, gift of clairvoyance, gift of claircognizance, whichever one will come to you first. I promise it to you. I promise it to you. The earth will be a beautiful place. And the earth will be your home, your safe home. Because higher forces will be standing right behind you, protecting you and guiding you. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Sandy, for your beautiful comment. I know, Sandy, that you have been raised just like many people in a religious atmosphere, in a religious manner, in a religious practices. Whether you follow it yourself or they were imposed on you. But I'm telling you, please, forget about everything you know from religion. Forget about it. And just listen through your heart these messages. Yes, you will find some things that correspond with what religion teaches. Because there is truth in the religion. Because the truth was brought back by the teacher over 2,000 years ago. But religion throughout the years have been corrupted to manipulate people, to gain power over people. And especially Catholics, they're the worst. They were killing people, and it's historically recorded everywhere. Before you could buy your ticket to heaven if you pay a certain amount to church. What kind of nonsense is that? Churches were the ones that started wars. So please forget everything you know about churches and listen to these messages through your heart, because your soul will tell you whether it is truth or not. Thank you very much, and I will see you next week. I haven't been firm on which day I'm going to do the reading, but I think it's going to be on a weekday. I did it on Sunday, but it's going to be on the weekday, and I will let you guys know as soon as possible. I would even say by tomorrow when I'm going to be doing the readings. Thank you, and have a good night.